And Ruto has taught us the hard way. Right now, we will interrogate issues deeper. Si ati mtu akienda kanisani aanze kulia, we're giving him sympathy votes. Tutatenda. Ruto promised us sucrose and delivered sand. Oh, the first 90 days, 100 days, I will do this. For 2.5 years, Ruto's regime has denied us justice. They have denied us equality or equity and the rule of law. Nothing. Absolutely nothing is working. Everything that was working has been dismantled. And now what we have are new, cash cow schemes. That is what I would call them. Cash cow schemes, which are being forced down our throats on the withdrawal of the security of our Chief Justice. Let me pose it categorically that I have zero empathy, zero sympathy, zero concern for that woman at the helm of our judiciary. You see, the squabble between Ruto and Martha Koome Karambu is a fight amongst the dishonorable. Under Kasongo, the executive is a sham. Under Koome Karambu, or whatever they call her, the judiciary is a joke. That is why they are being referred to as jurispersa. Just recently, they used that on the impeachment of, Gachagua, and she got her bahasha. You see? If you go back to my tweets, I stated clearly the genesis of their recent fallout. It's got nothing to do with intimidation. It has got everything to do with a phone call that NIS intercepted. I make some of these tweets, and people think that I'm mad because facts are always stranger than fiction. When in a society, the so-called mad people like Aoko, like Peter Salasia, like Pastor Nganga, like Sonko begin to make sense, then something rather is fundamentally flawed with that society. You see, come to think of it, when I heard Murkomen defending why they withdrew some of Koome's security that she was wailing about, apparently she's entitled to 6 police officers and she was having 32. Out of those 32, only 3 were withdrawn. And then you wonder, that is why as an ordinary Kenyan, you go to the police station to report an injustice, a grievance. You find 2 idling police officers flirting with each other, and they cannot even listen to you because the rest are in the field, on duty in the field. So this duty happens to be they are carrying handbags, and playing toy boys for some of these VIPs. And then the rest of us Kenyans, she expects that we are supposed to, scavenge some sense of sympathy for her. It does not make sense, But then, come to think of it, be as it may, the state under Ruto has gone staggeringly contemptuous. We are no longer even a pseudo-democracy. We are a mockery, a theater of the absurd, a tragicomedy. If it was not so, the animals between these 2 independent arms of the government should not be playing in the public gallery. Why should we know that they are squabbling in the first place? To the extent that the executive is withdrawing, security from these other arms, the judiciary. It happened with also this judge called who? The one who summoned the acting IG at that time. And then you wonder, kwani these police officers that are being withdrawn at the whims of the executive, of the IG, or the interior CS, kwani wanalipwa kutoka Sugoi? Are they not being paid through our taxes? Wanalipwa na Murkomen, ama wanalipwa na IG? These police officers are being paid by our money. Anyway, just like I mentioned, I have zero empathy and sympathy and concern whatsoever for Karambu. Martha Koome elected to be clay, a party in the hands of Kalenjin mafia, to be used and misused. So now that she's being abused, she should not cry to us. What you thought? On an issue that is very close to my heart, abductions. And this is one discourse I'm very passionate, very unequivocal about, because I've been a victim. Let's start by asking a simple question, dear Kenyans. Who is being abducted or killed? It's the critics of the ruling class, who happen to be majorly the young people of this nation. The following question, or this question thus follows: why are they being abducted? Why are we excoriating? Why are we lambasting? Why are we vilifying the ruling class? I do not want to call them leaders, because it will be a gargantuan affront to that term, leader. These are not leaders. That is why I'm calling them the ruling class. You know, why are we crucifying them, this ruling class? Again, the answer is so simple. Because as the youth of this nation, we are aggrieved profoundly. We are aggrieved in ways words cannot suffice. And for some reason, those who tend to speak subtly, those who tend to speak, moderately, are not heard by the state. Ruto's regime, my dear friends, is innately fiendish. They are inherently iniquitous. They only hear. And they only hear when you draw caricatures. They only hear when you protest, when you draw cartoons, when you brew tea like Aoko does, when you come up with vampire diaries like Morara does, or when you put them in caskets and coffins. Please note that I use the word they hear. They do not listen. Because you hear to react, but you listen to respond. Response is a consequence of sitting down and analyzing the situation at hand. Watoto, hii kitu wanafanya kwa nini? And how should we respond? But reaction comes from impulse. When you are a fool, because that is what fools do. Take, for instance, the contentious Finance Bill 2024. They wanted to smuggle it because they wrongly judged that we are illiterate, we are apolitical, we don't know politics, we will not read it, So they believed that we will not notice this stark fiscal injustice. Only wow. We read it. Not only did we read it, we understood it. And then we were like, apana. We repudiated this document in its entirety. And then we tried to pass that message to them. Ikitu hatuitaki. We made tweets. We made videos. I saw this casket thing was absolutely nowhere in the picture. I hope you're getting my point, dear Kenyans who are listening to this space. Because I told them today, I'm going to tell them why we are putting them in caskets. We tweeted, we tagged them, we held spaces, we made videos, we spoke to them. We even lent our voices on mainstream media. Akina Osoro, that arrogant wash will tell us, we will not even change a comma. Tutaipitisha hivyo hivyo. Akina Cheriot told us he's never met anyone wiser than Ruto. And that bill will transform Kenya, help us pay debts, blah, blah, blah. According to hornbills like him, Ruto is the alpha and omega of wisdom, only rivaled by God. He monopolizes knowledge and it will amount to an abomination. An abomination if you dare question Ruto. This is the kind of Mtuwetu syndrome that in fact Tukiwa just requires a RV. In fact, I wanted to use decorum on this platform, but I would today want to ask Cheruiyot, because Ruto monopolized wisdom. Akimwambia leo leta bibi yako pale Weston atachukua peleke, because he's the alpha and omega of wisdom. Kimani Chungwa told us we can go screw ourselves. That bill will pass whether we kithne, whether we ndekne, that bill will pass. It is that hubris, that haughtiness, that arrogance, that conceit that took us to the streets. Because they blatantly refused to listen to us. They blatantly refused to dialogue. We had to go rogue to catch their attention. Then, now that we went rogue, what was their reaction? Splattering our brains on the pavements. So by the time they were calling us for dialogue, the milk was far spilled, and the cat had drunk it. So to spite us, they brought in a dinosaur and his cabal of thieves to lick our blood. What these tone-deaf thieves fail to understand that hii kitu haikuanza na hii sijui finance bill. When Ruto was campaigning, and oh my God, there is one of the things that I regret to the depths of my soul, that it and gnaws to my very essence and existence, is that I campaigned for Ruto. I was a fool. For once, let me admit, I was an idiot. But I was also ignorant. And our ignorance is to gain knowledge. You learn. And sometimes in life, you learn the hard way. And Ruto has taught us the hard way. Right now, we will interrogate issues deeper. Si ati mtu akienda kanisani aanze kulia, we're giving him sympathy votes. Tutatenga. Ruto promised us sucrose and delivered sand. Oh, the first 90 days, sijui 100 days, I will do this. Paukwa, pakawa, ya Ruto, ni uongo, na yawezi je, ni ya serikali ya UDA. For 2.5 years, Ruto's regime has denied us justice. They have denied us equality or equity from whatever angle, semantics, potato, and the rule of law. Nothing, absolutely nothing is working. Everything that was working has been dismantled. And now, what we have are new, cash cow schemes. That is what I would call them. Cash cow schemes, which are being forced down our throats. In Luo, I don't know, everyone, we appreciate our different cultures. But in Luo, when a kid refused to take his meals, we used to call it cargo. You force that uji down that kid's throat. That is what Ruto is doing to us with his, fake administration. And NHIF was working. It wasn't perfect, but it served its purpose. Education was affordable to our parents because it was capitated. Mwe mzazi unalipa hii mpaka hapa. Hiyo ingine serikali italipa. Unachukua uniform, vitabu, nini na fee maybe hii. Hiyo ingine serikali na top up. Right now, parents are catering for every freaking cent. Mara sijui anataka kuuza airport. Mara the energy sector. And anataka kuziuza to the most corrupt cow worshipper in the entire Asia. If you go to higher learning, there is this fuckery that they are calling new funding model. Yani, these people are bringing policies that tax the hell out of us just so their kids can buy 50 million Ganyas. You see, when a people are continuously denied justice, they get aggrieved. I mean, that's the logical thing that will happen. And what follows is display rather of agitation. If you are aggrieved, you are going to display that you are aggrieved. Right now, what they are doing painfully is that they are trying to circumvent facts. They are trying to circumvent their failure through violence, and through using affordable bloggers, who are just nothing but a bunch of clickbait nitwits, to chorus their lies and sanctify their incompetence.